Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. This time, we're looking at SORA,
Oh, yeah.
which is,
They're ambitious.
yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They're trying to do a lot more than just launch, like, another cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
They're building, like, a whole monetary system,
Right.
a non-debt-based framework designed to bring stability to global finance,
Yeah.
particularly in places that need it most.
Yeah. And what's really cool is we get to peek behind the curtain a bit today
Yeah, we do.
with their latest ecosystem update.
It's like getting a sneak peek into...
That's internal strategy memos.
Yeah.
It is a fascinating glimpse into the progress and how they're navigating this often wild world of crypto.
So
The
is.
steps they're taking, the concrete steps, and how it all connects to this bigger picture of reshaping the financial landscape.
Well, let's start with the lay of the land.
Okay.
The update paints a pretty interesting picture of the current crypto scene,
Right.
and they don't shy away from calling out what they call the...
The shitcoin cycle. The shitcoin cycle.
Yeah.
What makes SORA so different from that?
Well, you've probably seen it yourself. You know, tokens popping up left and right, driven more by hype and limited supply than actual utility.
Yeah.
And SORA is very consciously taking a different approach.
Okay.
In fact, the update even mentions Fartcoin trending as a top token,
Wow.
which I think just highlights the absurdity they're trying to
Yeah.
address.
Well, it definitely makes you wonder what's the point
Right.
of all this. And that seems to be SORA's question, too.
Yep.
They're focused on building a robust blockchain with real-world applications.
Yeah, and they're calling out other projects that seem to kind of gloss over the fundamentals of
Okay.
blockchain technology.
Like what?
The importance of transaction costs,
Oh, okay.
network stability,
Okay.
things that often get swept under the rug in the rush to create the next viral token.
So it's less about chasing trends and more about laying a solid foundation.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, but how does that translate into real-world impact?
Right.
It's easy to talk about changing the world, but what concrete steps are they taking?
Well, their collaboration with the Bank of Papua New Guinea is a perfect example.
Okay.
They're working together on a central bank digital currency,
A CBDC.
a CBDC, and a savings bond system, all built on the blockchain.
I'm curious about why they chose to work with Papua New Guinea specifically.
Well, Papua New Guinea faces unique financial challenges.
Okay.
Limited traditional banking infrastructure, for example. And SORA's technology, especially that CBDC, offers a way to kind of leapfrog those limitations and empower people who haven't traditionally had access to reliable financial tools.
Yeah.
This is about more than just efficiency. It's about building a more inclusive system.
So connecting the dots here,
Yeah.
it seems like SORA is deliberately choosing partners and projects that align with their bigger vision of a new economic order. But what does that actually mean in practice?
Yeah.
How do you see them trying to achieve this ambitious goal?
Well,
It feels like we're seeing a shift from empty promises to real-world solutions, which is refreshing. Yeah.
and speaking of concrete developments, the update dives into some exciting updates happening within the SORA ecosystem itself.
Mm-hmm.
The SORA v3 upgrade is one that caught my eye.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about it, and what kind of impact will it have on the platform?
SORA v3 is a major step forward in their mission to build a truly robust and versatile blockchain.
Okay.
The update actually cites a report by the Global Blockchain Business Council
Okay.
that highlights some impressive use cases for the platform.
Okay.
They see a lot of potential for SORA, particularly in the Asia-Pacific region.
That's interesting. What is it about SORA that makes it so well suited to address the challenges in that particular region?
It seems that SORA's features are particularly relevant to the unique financial landscape of the Asia-Pacific.
Okay.
Their work with Papua New Guinea is a prime example. Imagine trying to implement a CBDC and a savings bond system in a region where traditional banking infrastructure is limited.
Yeah.
That's where blockchain technology and SORA's approach specifically can really shine. So it's about finding the right tool for the job, so to speak.
Yeah.
And for those who want to get involved in the development process, the update mentions the Fujiwara Testnet.
Right.
What exactly is that, and why should our listeners care?
The Fujiwara Testnet is a great way for people to get hands-on experience with the upcoming features of SORA v3.
Okay.
It's an opportunity to test things out, provide feedback, and be a part of shaping the future of the platform.
Oh, wow.
It's like a sneak peek behind the scenes and a chance to contribute to something potentially groundbreaking.
That sounds pretty cool. It's one thing to read about these developments,
Yeah,
but it's another to actually get involved and see how things work.
for sure.
Lifting gears a bit, the update also talks about the new TON bridge.
Okay.
For those who might not be familiar, can you explain what a bridge is in the crypto world?
Sure.
And why this connection to the open network is so significant?
Think of a bridge as a digital pathway that connects different blockchain ecosystems, allowing you to transfer assets between them. Kind of like being able to exchange currencies seamlessly when you travel to different countries.
Right.
In this case, the TPO-in bridge opens up a whole new avenue for SORA users to interact with assets from the open network.
So this bridge is like opening a door between two previously separate worlds.
Exactly.
What are the implications of connecting these two ecosystems? What new possibilities does it unlock?
Well, the possibilities are pretty exciting right now. The bridge is open in one direction,
Okay.
meaning you can transfer assets from T-Tone to SORA.
Okay.
However, they're working on enabling transfers in both directions, which will open up even more opportunities for collaboration and innovation.
Oh, cool.
Plus, they've set up a liquidity pool for THON and XOR,
Okay.
SORA's native token, to make it as easy as possible for people to move between the two ecosystems.
Seamless integration, that seems to be a recurring theme with SORA.
Yeah.
And speaking of making things easier for users, let's talk about SORA Card.
Okay.
This one feels particularly relevant for people who are looking for ways to actually use crypto in their daily lives. You mentioned earlier that it's like a debit card for your crypto. Could you elaborate on how that works and why it's a big deal?
Imagine being able to spend your crypto holdings anywhere that accepts traditional debit cards.
Yeah.
That's what SORA Card enables. It bridges the gap between the crypto world and the fiat world, making it incredibly convenient to use your crypto for everyday purchases.
So instead of crypto just being this abstract thing you hold in a digital wallet, it becomes a practical tool you can use in the real world that's a game changer for adoption.
Right.
What's exciting is that the update mentions a major upgrade in the works for SORA Card.
Oh, wow.
I wonder what kind of improvements they have planned.
We'll have to wait and see what those upgrades entail.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they're focused on making the user experience even smoother and more intuitive.
Okay.
It's all about bridging that gap between crypto and traditional finance, making it accessible and appealing to a wider audience.
From what we've seen so far, it seems like SORA has a knack for anticipating what users need and building solutions that address those needs.
Yeah, I think so.
Now let's move on to Polkaswap, their decentralized exchange.
Right.
The update highlighted some new features, particularly around security. Can you tell us more about that?
Security is paramount in the crypto world.
Yeah.
And SORA is taking it very seriously. They've implemented multi-signature support for Polkaswap,
Okay.
which adds an extra layer of protection for users' funds.
Can you break down what multi-signature means?
Sure.
And why it's so important for people who are using the platform?
Absolutely. Multi-signature or multi-sig essentially requires multiple parties to approve a transaction before it can be executed. It's like having two keys needed to open a safe.
Okay.
This makes it much harder for unauthorized access to occur, especially for larger transactions.
So it's like having a built-in safety net.
Right.
That makes sense, especially in a space where security is so crucial.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a proactive step that demonstrates SORA's commitment to protecting their users and building trust within their ecosystem.
All of these developments paint a picture of a project that's not just focused on the technical side of things, but also on the user experience and the broader impact of their work. But before we get too caught up in the details, I want to zoom out for a second and revisit SORA's overarching goal, this new economic order they talk about. What exactly does that mean, and how do all these initiatives we've discussed fit into that vision?
That's a great question. The new economic order that SORA envisions is a more inclusive, equitable, and decentralized financial system.
Okay.
It's a world where individuals and communities have more control over their finances rather than being reliant on traditional institutions.
So it's about shifting power dynamics and creating a system that works for everyone, not just a select few.
Precisely. And all of these initiatives we've discussed.
Yes.
SORA V3, the bridges, SORA Card, Polkaswap, they're all pieces of that puzzle. They're building the tools and infrastructure needed to enable this new financial paradigm.
It's fascinating to see how they're piecing it all together. But as we wrap up this deep dive into SORA's world, I have one final question for you. Do you think their approach, this emphasis on real-world applications and community involvement, could be a model for a more responsible and impactful future of finance?
It's definitely a model worth considering. By prioritizing real-world problems, promoting financial inclusion, and actively engaging their community. SORA is setting an interesting example for other projects in the crypto space.
Yeah.
Whether their approach will become the dominant model remains to be seen.
Right.
but it's a compelling vision for a future where finance is more accessible, transparent, and equitable.
Yeah, it's inspiring to see a project like SORA that's not just chasing hype, but actually trying to build something meaningful and sustainable. They're walking the walk, as they say.
Their commitment to real-world applications and community involvement is certainly impressive. They seem to understand that technology is only as good as the problems it solves and the people it empowers.
This ecosystem update has been a real eye-opener. It's clear they're not just playing in the sandbox, they're building a whole new playground, so to speak. It makes you wonder, what could the financial landscape look like if more projects followed SORA's lead?
That's a fascinating question to consider. Imagine a world where finance is more accessible, transparent, and equitable, where communities have the tools to shape their own economic destinies. It's a compelling vision, and SORA is taking concrete steps to make it a reality.
I think that's what's so exciting about this project.
Yeah.
They're challenging the status quo, pushing the boundaries of what's possible with blockchain technology. It's not just about making money, it's about building a better system.
And they're doing it in a way that's both ambitious and pragmatic. They're not afraid to tackle complex challenges.
Right.
But they're also focused on delivering tangible results.
We've covered a lot of ground today, from the shitcoin cycle to CBDCs to bridges and multi-signature wallets.
We have.
It feels like we've only scratched the surface of what SORA is all about.
There's always more to explore. The beauty of a project like this is that it's constantly evolving, pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
If our listeners are as intrigued as we are, where should they go to learn more about SORA and stay up to date on their progress?
Their website is a great resource, and they're very active on social media. They're constantly sharing updates, insights, and opportunities to get involved. They seem to really believe in the power of community, and they welcome participation from anyone who shares their vision.
So to wrap things up, SORA is striving to be more than just another player in the crypto game. They're building a new economic order, one that's more inclusive, equitable, and decentralized. Whether they succeed or not remains to be seen. But their journey is certainly worth following.
It's a story that's still being written, and the ending is far from certain.
Right.
But the possibilities are truly exciting, and the potential impact is immense.
And that's what makes it so compelling. It's a reminder that we all have a role to play in shaping the future of finance. We can choose to be passive observers, or we can become active participants in creating a system that works for everyone.
It's a choice we all face, not just in the world of crypto, but in every aspect of our lives. Do we wait for change to happen, or do we become the change we wish to see?
That's a powerful thought to leave our listeners with. So until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep into the fascinating world of blockchain and beyond.